is
Zaza. Oh, yeah.
Fitzy and
Sweet as.
Whipper.
Welcome to the podcast, and welcome to the chance to say very happy birthday to Ryan James Fitzgerald. Congratulations, mate. Was it a great day yesterday?
Don't want to talk about it.
All the surprises and dreams, your wishes have
Move
come
on.
true. The old man clicks over another year.
Please.
Happy birthday to you.
It was a bit of a disaster.
Was it?
actually, Yeah.
Oh, no.
You know what? Your kids just consume your whole life now.
No one cares about you.
Go down that road. of
What?
Kids. Well, you know, like socialising, sport.
Mm-hmm.
You know, all I wanted to do was one thing over the weekend, and it ended in disaster.
Oh, no. You were
that-
busted at a bus stop, were you?
What? You'll hear that in the podcast.
The Fitzy and Whipper podcast.
Sarah, you gave me a wedgie not long ago on this show and you ripped my underpants.
I mean, there was context to it.
Last night,
Yeah.
I got home and I took my pants off, right? I'd been interstate.
And you'd ripped a hole in
And
them.
Lisa
Dog show.
came up where there was the hole where you'd made in the underpants, and she ripped the whole thing off, and I was just left with the band.
Why didn't you throw them out when I accidentally
Because I don't have many more of those underpants left.
Oh, no.
Anyway, I just had to get that off my chest.
Banana Republic and the
off
whole
my-
Republic family, if you do have some spares.
If you wouldn't mind.
If you can. Happy birthday to me. 46 years of age yesterday. It's interesting, you know what, like when you get older, I don't want gifts. I was upset that you guys brought in a cake on Friday. You know, I don't like it. And you know what, your whole life now is totally consumed by your kids' sport and socialising.
Yep.
Yeah.
So for the weekend, everyone's going, what are you guys going to do?
where's
What are
the
you
party?
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to drop my kids. I've got to go watch cricket on Saturday. Lenny's got a sleepover Saturday night, so he wasn't even there when I woke up Sunday morning. Then Lenny had basketball Sunday. You know what?
You're sounding angry that no one actually cared about you.
Well, all I said, okay, so this was the thing I wanted to do. I want to go to the movies. I love going to the cinema. I love Dendy in Newtown. I said, let's go down to Newtown. We can get something to eat there. And I want to go see Olivia Wilde's new movie, Don't Worry, Darling.
Yes.
Right? With Harry Styles in it.
Yep.
And so on Saturday, Hewie comes to the cinemas with me every time we go. Saw another great movie which is out on Netflix now, The Stranger as well, which is
here
an
we go.
Australian movie. Get an opportunity to see that. That's amazing. But I wanted to see Don't Worry, Darling. So we booked it in. And then on Saturday, a good family friend of ours, Audrey, a young girl, she's friends with Hewie and our family and that as well. She was at home by herself. I said, well, why doesn't Audrey come along as well? Let's go to the movies. This will be awesome. So Hewie was there with Audrey and BJ and I.
Double date.
Went to the movies.
Did you check the rating of the film?
No.
Yeah.
You didn't, did you? I mean, you've gone for dinner in Newtown, so you sat on a milk crate eating tofu.
So
then you've gone to the
What a
cinema.
cliche.
And I've got two 13-year-olds, and
Yeah.
obviously she's stoked because Harry Styles is in it.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's
What-
pleasant Harry
what
Styles.
happens?
Harry,
Don't give it away.
well, you get to see an intimate side of Harry.
Yeah, you do.
Okay, and
Well, no, you don't get to see any, like he's not nude or anything like that, but Harry goes pretty hard. My
in
God.
every
what,
sense.
so like
And
Harry's...
there's this moment.
Is he the jackhammer or...
There's no, not at all. There's none of that, but there is a scene where,
He's,
let's just say, there was a degustation. My gosh.
what, 12 or 9 course?
Well, I don't look, and you know what? Then there's a moment where we're in Newtown, and my son is looking at me, going, "He's a ropeable."
Yeah, it's
Are
so
you
embarrassing.
serious, Dad? And it doesn't like there's two scenes where Harry's it's a great movie. There's a moral to this movie, and it's a really great meaning. I
Sounds
loved
like it.
Olivia Wilde was great.
Because a degustation can go for about 4 hours.
Oh, my
You've always
gosh.
got to be careful eating the bread first.
And I don't. Are you really awkward when you? Do you remember watching when
Oh,
there were
yeah.
scenes?
Yeah,
in
with
scenes
your
with your
parents.
parents?
Big
or-
time Sex in the City.
It's horrific. Like BJ was laughing her head off, thinking it was hilarious, and I'm going, "Oh gosh, here comes another one."
Were there any questions about it? Like, did they do things that Huey may not have understood completely?
Well, he wasn't watching, mate. He had his T-shirt over his eyes.
Oh, no, he's covered his
And
eyes.
He wasn't happy.
What was Audrey doing?
Well, I don't
Calling
know.
her mum and dad, saying these Fitzgeralds are completely inappropriate.
Sickos.
When I took Huey to Planet of the Apes at 8 years of age, and Caesar, the bad monkey, he was. There's the start of the movie is
Yeah.
quite intense.
You're
He's
leaving out.
about to rip someone's face off.
No.
And there was this moment where I heard this, Dad, can I go home? I want to go home.
And what did you say in response? Remember when you told us?
I said, no, it gets better.
So did you apologise to Aubrey's parents? Audrey's
Yeah,
parents?
I would have to Aubrey if she was there, but to Audrey, yes, I did.
Right, and did they know
No,
what
I
movie you were
didn't
going to
apologise
start with?
Jen and Jeff. No, I didn't, unfortunately. But
Do you want to do that now?
I said apologies the whole time throughout the movie. I'm sorry.
Say something to the parents now.
Oh, did you? 13, 24, 10, was there a moment where you were watching a movie with the kids and you thought, okay, this is probably not the right movie for the kids?
Do you know what there is too? That awkward moment where someone needs to break the silence. If you're sitting there with your mum and dad and there's a scene on the show and you all realise what's going on and you're sitting there and it's really uncomfortable, someone giggles,
Yes.
someone says, my mum was always the one to break the, oh, this is a bit much. Or something along the lines
I've seen a
of,
few movies.
okay.
Except she kept saying this isn't
Well, I
enough.
thought that isn't way too much. Oh my gosh, that is. Where's she walking?
That's my mother you're talking about. My mother, the other day, this really concerned me.
I wouldn't do it.
I tried to record her. This was at lunch. She started listing all the men that she thought were really good looking in Hollywood. She did a good 5 minutes on how she would have loved to have met someone like Leonardo DiCaprio when she was younger.
She would have done well, I reckon, Christine. Like
What,
she
in the
was,
Hollywood scene?
Well, you know, when she went over to the Running the Balls, she was very
That's
popular.
right. She met
Okay, we're
Sanchez.
getting a lot of calls here, Tommy. I just need one here because I've
let's
completely
take 'em.
stuffed this. BJ said this is, and you know what, Sarah? I should have done my research
big time.
because
The amount we've talked about the movie, I thought you'd know it was an R rating.
it's a really good movie if you get a chance to see it.
Sounds like it.
James in Bankstown. What was the moment in a movie where you thought, oh, I probably shouldn't have taken the kids to this one?
Yeah, morning fellas, morning Sarah. We on holidays I used to go and stay with my grandmother, and we saw some really funny trailers for a movie, and we thought, oh, that's a good one to go watch. And I don't know if you've ever seen it, but Georgia Rule with
Yes,
Lindsay
Lindsay
Lohan.
Lohan.
Mate, I sat for 2.5 hours watching Lindsay Lohan getting inappropriately touched up
Oh no!
Yeah.
with my grandmother.
Yeah, the premise of the storyline is she's a rebellious teen who might have been in some bad intimate situations with older men, and she gets sent to Jane
How
Fonda, her
Wheeler
grandmother's
is all
house.
happy-go-lucky laughing about
Oh,
family
no.
time,
No.
and then
Nah.
you start watching it and it becomes real dark real quick.
Yeah,
Oh
it does.
no.
Oh no!
Tommy, remember when you went to see Black Swan with your mum and dad?
Oh,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
tough.
There's like a half an hour degustation scene.
Yeah, they did. They walked out.
How are you not full by now?
Mid-dego, they wandered off, and it was just me watching Natalie Portman.
Mid-dego?
Yeah, it was devastating.
You don't want to leave mid-dego.
That's not very often you see Tom Ivy leaving a degustation. All right, can we continue this, Tom?
Yeah,
This
let's
is
do
what we
it.
do in the biz, man. We
Love that.
continue it.
Yeah,
Right?
run the biz, man. Bernie in Neutral Bay, what movie did you see with your kids, mate?
Every Christmas, Love Actually. Oh, that scene where those people meet and they're doing the
Oh, yeah.
porn.
Oh,
the
yeah, they're acting it
Yeah.
out. The guy from The Office.
The stand-ins.
How do you explain that one?
See, that it is such a good family movie, but there are a couple of moments. But that's what you love about. That's what you love about the movie is they push the boundaries a bit.
Yeah.
Bernie makes a good point because, you know, there's an act, right? Then you need to sometimes explain to your kids what they're doing. But then there's another layer on it when you need to talk about what they're doing actually in the film, acting out that scene, Bernie.
That's right. And for me, it was they're just practicing first aid.
Oh, well done,
Oh,
Bernie.
wow. Hope I don't get injured.
Yeah, I reckon.
It's the last time I call St John's.
Until your kids are teenagers and they're practicing first aid all the time, Bernie. John in Liverpool, what was the movie your dad took you to watch?
We took a bunch of mates to The Hangover.
Oh,
Hangover 3, actually, the Thailand one. And they wouldn't let us in unless he came in. And it was a pretty awkward car ride home. We dropped all my mates off, and then it was just him and I in the car, and he said, whatever you saw, you didn't see.
John, was there one scene in particular that stood out?
Probably the first scene with Mr. Chow.
Oh, that's
Oh,
right.
yeah.
They can't-
Or the icing sugar all over the face. That was another interesting one.
Yeah.
That's right. Mr. Chow's lying down, isn't he? And then they see
mate.
something sticking up.
Huey, I had to relent to Huey and his mates with Superbad. Because I thought, you know what, they're going to watch it. They'll watch it themselves somehow anyway.
What's the worst in Superbad?
Well, Superbads, they're all around that age, and they're just going hard.
Maybe the scene on the dance floor is a bit confronting to explain.
With the girl,
way
yeah.
that they're I mean,
Oh,
the
the language.
language is just full on.
Colourful.
Very colourful, in fact. Sis.
Hayley and Maruda, what was the movie that your parents made you watch?
Morning. My parents sat me down when I was about 2.5 and we watched the first Austin Powers.
When you were 2.5?
Yes.
Can you remember that?
No, I just remember the story. So apparently the week after that, I walked around the shops calling larger people fat bastard, and my parents were so embarrassed.
Get in my belly. Oh, that's funny. Oh, wow. Hayley, I love that.
Great, cool. Nicole and Engadine, what video did you accidentally let your nephew watch?
So it was one of the Little Nas X music videos where he's getting quite intimate with a couple of other men.
Yeah, Nas X goes pretty hard
Loves
in
the
his
men.
film clips, doesn't he?
Yeah, so he was asking what's going on there, and I just had to...
They're wrestling.
That's the Old Town Road right there.
I just said to him, this is why you shouldn't go to jail.
I mean, that's a bit more intense, Nicole.
That's pretty heavy-handed there, Nicole. It's one way to...
I mean, there's lessons left, right and centre in
explain
Nicole's
it.
house.
I don't know where we go from that.
Chris in Cronulla, what movie did you watch with your daughter?
Titanic.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
What's wrong with that?
Oh, the scene in the car, the steamy scene.
She was all right all the way through the movie up until when the ship started to sink, and the scene where the mother's lying in bed reading a story to their two kids. They're just given up. She absolutely lost it.
Yeah, that
all her eyes out, and
Right.
Did you take...
it felt terrible.
Because when I took Hewie when he was about 7 to Planet of the Apes, there was a moment where he said, Dad, I don't want to be here. Then you got to try to talk them around, Chris. I suppose you could take them out of the cinema, but nah, you paid.
we were just at home, so it was all right. But we decided we'll watch the rest by ourselves
And
after that.
so, Chris, the steamy scene in the car was fine with Kate Winslet?
But I mean, I think we sort of just blew through that and she didn't really realise what was going on, but then she sort of, she didn't like the sinking part.
It's not all that graphic.
No, it's not that graphic.
On the couch as well when he's drawing her.
Yeah, that's hot.
It's just her boob.
Just a bit of boob.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I didn't even really think about that.
You're stumbling over your words now, Chris. We've said boob. You're completely thrown
You're an
under, mate.
absolute sicko,
All right.
Chris.
Lock yourself up, Chris. See you, mate.
Are you ready to put your pool floaties to work? Start planning the ultimate summer getaway with whatif.com.
Find hotels and holiday rentals plus family-friendly resorts. Just jump on the What If app.
What if it's Aussie for travel? You know what? We're still reeling from our backyard cricket game at Kirribilli House last week, and if you want to go to the Fitzy and Whipper Instagram account, you can check out all the goss there. But there's been a story that has emerged after the game was finished.
Well, that's right. I thought we'd seen all the action which was on the field, but you know what, Fitz? Long after you and I had gone, there wasn't many people hanging around. The Prime Minister was still there with his beautiful girlfriend, but there was also an engineer from Nova who was packing up. His name's Robbie Zamora. Welcome to the show, Robert.
Robertos.
Thank you.
They always come back for Zamora.
They come
do.
back for Zamora. Well, do you know what? The Prime Minister comes back for Zamora because
What happened?
there's a photo that has emerged of you leading the Prime Minister upstairs at Kirribilli House.
Now, the upstairs is roped off. So you've got a very thin staircase. There's the rope at the bottom of the staircase, and then there's a federal policeman guarding that staircase. And you went upstairs, sir.
I did.
You led the Prime Minister to the bedroom.
So what
Well,
was the
he led me, so...
What was the conversation, Robbie?
Well, Alberto came down and had a chat to us, and he said, "Look, guys, you got so much tech gear. I reckon you guys could probably make the stereo work upstairs." I was like, "What?"
Awesome.
No worries. Do you mind coming upstairs? And I was like, everyone was shocked. Everyone was like, of course. The answer is yes.
Let me get this right. You hooked up the Prime Minister's stereo. Is it was stereo or was it his vinyl player?
Well, it was a full old-school Sony system. He had a little brand new vinyl recorder player. And, it
What did
wasn't
it
working.
look like, Rob? It's a kind of an old cottagey feel Kirribilli house. What's it like upstairs?
It's beautiful. It's... very nice, very traditional.
Yeah.
And there was a mess of cables and audio gear around.
So did you see any records, any albums that he had there, Robbie?
Yeah, he had some stuff there.
Were you surprised by anything you saw up there, Robbie?
No, he's a very down-to-earth gentleman. So, it was nothing extravagant.
Robbie, you told me off air that you yelled at him, "Hey, geeks, to you wanting call them first." But did he offer you a bottle of wine or anything on the way out the door for doing the extra services?
They gave us a 6-pack of beer on the way out.
Did they really? What sort of beer, Robbie?
4 pints per hour.
I love this. So the Prime Minister has asked you to hook up his stereo upstairs at Kirribilli House.
13-24-10, can we throw it out there because we love this story, Robbie? Have you helped out a celebrity? What did they need done on the spot? And you were there and all of a sudden you couldn't believe who was asking the favour.
Brian in Beverley Park. Who was the celebrity?
Cameron Daddo.
Oh, here we go. What happened, Brian?
So it was a while ago. We were probably about 12 years old, and we saw this limousine driving around our street, and we were all sort of poking our head around, just sort of having a look, saying, "What's this doing here?" And the guy was telling us to sort of rack off, and then all of a sudden, this guy turned up at my neighbour's house, and from being on a boat trip, and he couldn't get in. He was sort of a bit stressed, and then he sort of came over to me and said, "Look, I need to get ready. Would it be possible if you can ask your parents if I could have a shower in your house?"
You've got to be kidding me.
Awesome.
Get him on.
Okay. So he came in, had a shower. His publicist was there. She sort of was ironing his shirt. And then they sort of let us have a look in the limousine, and then, off they went to the Logies.
So he knocked
amazing.
on a random's door in the hope of coming in for a shower before the Logies.
Oh, no, we were outside sort of looking at his limousine, and we were only 12, so we had like skateboarding around
This is hilarious.
our street, other stuff, and because we were there and opposite, he sort of, asked me because, he was opposite our house.
All right, Brian,
100%.
don't go anywhere. Stay on the line. We're going to try to track him down. That is awesome. Great story. Let's go to Linton now from East Gardens. Which celebrity did you help out?
G'day. It was Sheena Easton.
Oh, Sheena Easton.
Yeah, I
Remember that
She was.
song, My Baby Takes the Morning Train?
Yes,
Oh,
I
yes.
do. Where was Sheena Easton?
I was on a flight from Tokyo to LA. This is a long time ago, back at 1990, and she was on there. And as we were getting off at LA, she had a heap of sort of hand luggage, purses and bags and all sorts of stuff. And I thought I'd be kind and offer her, can I help you with your bags? And she sort of said, "Oh, no, it's all right," with a bit of a Scottish accent.
Yeah.
And I ended up in the customs line behind her, and subconsciously I was humming My Baby Takes the Morning Train.
Oh, no.
How awkward.
Looking back at me like I was a weirdo store cat. But,
Great story. Never heard of her, but great story.
You know this song.
Yeah.
Turn it up. Oh, my.
I don't think I do.
You never
No.
heard Smooth? Never flicked
No,
over?
when is this from?
My Baby Takes the Morning Train. This was a hit.
Don't remember it.
hit in the 80s.
Oh, massive
No,
hit.
sorry, Lyndon. Thanks,
Great
buddy.
story,
Great
Lyndon.
story.
Let's go to Michelle in Russell Lee. Hi, Mish.
Hey, how you going?
Good.
What's your
Talking.
story?
Yeah, I was at a workshop in the city and had to move my car, right? So I run out to my car space. There's a bit of space in the front of it. So I jump in thinking I'll just roll it forward. Anyway, after I jump in the driver's seat, Adriano Zumbo rocks up in his hot-looking car, rolls down his window and says, "Oh, are you leaving?" And I just fucking froze. I'm sorry, I just froze. And I thought, "Oh, yeah, I am." So then I drove out, gave him my car space, and couldn't find one for the next 45 minutes.
Oh, so you were starstruck by Adrian
Zumbo. Zumbo. He makes.
Totally so.
Oh, you're questioning celebrities now, mate.
No, I'm not. I just wasn't sure that you'd get such a fright if you saw Zumbo.
Well, if you weren't expecting it, he was big for a minute.
She helped Zumbo out, mate.
Yeah.
You peanut.
Do you want to?
Can we call Cameron Daddo?
Why don't we call? Going back to Brian's,
So
Brian's story.
Brian let Cameron Daddo into his house, his parents' house, to have a shower to get ready for the Logies.
This is extraordinary.
There was a limo that was riding around on the streets. He was 12 years of age. Let's see if Cam Daddo can remember it.
Hello.
Oh, Cam Daddo.
You're live on the radio, Fitzy and Whipper, mate.
Oh dear. What have I done?
Welcome, son.
So Brian's on the line. Can we get Brian up as well? Brian, you still there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so Brian was 12 years of age, and there was a limo that rocked up on the street, Cam, and they were skateboarding around. They were trying to look into the limo, and then all of a sudden you come out of the limo and asked Brian if you could have a shower at his house before the Logies.
Cam, does this ring any bells?
Was it in Melbourne, Brian?
No, it was in Bronte. I think you were you're out on the boat.
You're out in a boat.
Neighbours across the road forgot to leave you the keys, and then you asked us if you could have a shower at our house before the Logies, and you came in, and your publicist was ironing your shirt for the night.
Awesome. Brian, Brian, you sure it was Cameron Dado?
I have no recollection of this. Are you sure you got the right Dado, Brian?
Yeah.
There's 25 of them.
Exactly.
That is, well, you're coming in hot from the boat trip, Cam. Maybe you've had a few too many you can't remember.
Let's go with this. Yeah. The only boat person I knew, probably back then, because this is pre-90. This is in the 80s, isn't it, Brian?
Yeah, it would be. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Larry Emder was the only one I knew with a boat.
Awesome.
Let's bring Larry into it.
Larry on.
Larry. So Larry sourced you up enough before the Logies. You've wandered into a stranger's place for a shower.
Correct.
Awesome.
My mum always said to me, just look, you ask, they can only say no. So clearly I liked your skateboard. Was it an Alba skateboard? Did it have an Alba deck?
Oh, I can't remember that.
Got every other detail.
Santa Cruz.
You got flowers delivered to my mum to say thank you.
What a gentleman.
That was very nice.
That sounds like something that I would do, not my brothers.
Yeah.
And it's great to hook up with you again.
That is...
You've missed Brian, haven't you, mate?
Oh, that is a great story.
Wow.
Cam's come in hot off a boat and used someone else's place to have a shower to get ready for the Logies. Jump back into a limo, Cam. There was a limo waiting for you.
What a rock star.
And off you went.
Yeah, now it's actually starting to come back to me because I took my sister that night to the Logies and I think I won it. I won one that night.
Best random shower award goes to Cameron Dado.
The Fitzy and Whipper podcast.
This is a really interesting one, especially after the Everest on the weekend. And don't get me wrong, we love going to the races, don't we? But we don't come home winners majority of the time. It's a mug's game, punting.
Well,
let's
it's
be
not
honest.
It's not made on winners, is it? It wouldn't exist.
It's not. Do you know what? The Doncaster Hotel, do you know what I love about the Donny?
The Donny, yeah.
And see, you would have spent a bit of time there as well. You know why it's so good? Because it's in Kensington, right next to Randwick. And what happens with the Donny, if you go to the races all day, you lose your money. Then you see the desperates, the desperados, that want to continue betting, and they leave Randwick and they'll go to the Donny and they'll bet on the trots and the dogs just to try to get themselves out of trouble. So this is an amazing story. It's about a guy called Jake Leonardos, and I've done this a couple of times.
What?
At the end of a day at a pub, and if you've lost a bit of money on the horses, you know that you know there's desperation. And you're like, oh, this is horrible. I've spent all my money. And you look around on the ground at the empty betting slips that are on the ground sometimes. And I don't know, if you've been betting on the horses sometimes, every now and then you could come across a slip where you go, that sounds familiar. Actually, I know that horse because that did win today. That won at Randwick at race 6. That's what Jake's done. Jake's picked up a betting slip at the Doncaster Hotel and he's found out that the horse that was on it hasn't been cashed in. It was a huge slip. There was $9,787 on it with a payout. Now, what Jake did, Jake said, well, I'm not going to cash it in here because it'll be obvious. I'm going to wait a couple of days and I'll go to a different tab. And I'll cash it in there, which I think he has every right to do.
Yeah, find his keepers.
That's what I've always thought.
It's not a registered
Yeah, but the
thing.
problem is, it's not his money.
Yeah, but what else do you do?
I know.
You give it to the guy behind the bar?
I get it. Practically,
and
the pub test would says, go for your life, mate.
And if someone's dropped
Go
it,
for your life.
yeah, it could be a slip of the pocket or maybe they were hammered.
How's this? The actual owner of the 9,787 who lost the betting slip was ex-NRL star Bo Champion. Now, he played for the Rabbitohs. And he obviously went chasing. This was back in August 2020. He went chasing to find out where that slip was. So he went back to the Donny and said, can you go through your CCTV footage? They did, and they identified Mr. Leonardos. About 2 weeks later, this is Jake Leonardos, the guy that found the betting slip. Later, police called me and told me exactly what happened. He said, I gamble a bit and I'd hate to lose that kind of money, so I wanted to give it back. I wanted to give it back to the police at that stage because he cashed it in and he had the money at that stage.
Okay.
But they said this was a private matter, this is the police, and that I had to meet the owner on the street and give it back to the owner then.
That's weird.
He said, I didn't even know who the owner was. He had no idea. So he said, I thought this could be quite dangerous if I've taken this guy's money.
Yeah.
So then after that, they charged me. They charged
With
him...
what?
They charged him of financial advantage by deception.
Oh.
Now, he went to court. The court found in 2 hours and 34 minutes that he was not guilty.
Yeah.
No, he hasn't deliberately gone out of his way to deceive.
Waste of time.
No.
I mean, I'm not a lawyer, believe it or not, guys,
So
but
then
that just doesn't seem right.
Everyone's asking what happens to the money. Mr. Champion, the guy that put the bet on, said the money has not been returned to him, and Mr. Lara said he is now not in a position to give the money back.
No, he's had to pay lawyers.
Well, he had to pay lawyers.
Oh, my God.
So dumb. What a dumb thing. $9,000 is awesome. Not worth it.
But the other thing is, too, even though they had the CCTV footage, right, of him possibly picking up this slip of paper. He probably gathered a few bits of papers and was going through them. They didn't actually see him cash it at that tab.
No.
Because he didn't.
No, he went to a different tab.
But how can you tell what piece of paper he picked up?
No, see, this is with a tab. They can pinpoint where
that payout was made.
Where the payout was made, and because it's the exact amount.
And
so
when
they would have been waiting for him to cash it in.
What's the max you can cash out in person as well? Because I would have thought, let's say if you win $10,000, are they giving you $10,000 over the counter?
No, I think there's a limit. I think I'm not quite sure. It depends.
$5 or something,
depends on the pub, but because the pub wouldn't have $10,000 in cash in the till, because you wouldn't want to carry that kind of money just in case you were robbed. I think it's anything over $2,000 or $5,000. Is that then they get your details and they transfer the money into yours during the week.
At the end of the day, right, at the end of a big day at the races, and if you've been, using the TAB and you've got all those slips and you've got a pocket full of slips and all this sort of stuff, you're looking at them and you're going, did I win on that one? Did I forget about that one? What horse was that? What race is this? It's easy to misplace, drop, forget, lose.
Totally.
It's kind of your responsibility to look
agree.
after your
Yeah,
ticket.
agreed.
And, the other thing as well, if you've won $10,000 on a horse...
What are you betting?
I can tell you this right now. That betting slip, I would have it in my hand...
100%.
...until the payout comes.
Yeah.
I'm right there waiting for it until interim, and then we get full odds and I'm full dividends, and I'm taking it straight in to get cash.
I mean, the bloke who champion whose ticket it originally was. I mean, does he go to the guy and say, "All right, this is I'm lucky to get anything back here, so why don't we go halves?"
Totally. Rather than go to court.
Halves is fine in a situation like this. We're all winning.
Had a semi-similar thing a couple of months ago where, when you bet off a winning ticket, right? So you've already got the voucher that says you've got $100, so you put a $5 bet on through the machine, and so it spits out your ticket for the race, and then it spits out another voucher for $95.
Yep.
Did that, took my ticket for the next race, forgot the $95 voucher after.
Yes.
There's about 6 of us sitting in the tab at the pub.
Yeah.
I go back to get the voucher. Gone.
Yeah.
One of the 6 has taken the $95 vouchers out of just the random blokes at the pub and has just held on to it.
Yeah.
And I've gone,
What do you do there?
And so it's a small area. All tabs and pubs are small areas. You start acting outraged and a little bit shocked and distressed.
Yeah.
There's clearly a bloke who's got it in his pocket, and he can tell that you are the bloke, and you just sort of start eyeballing each other, and you go over and you go, mate, did you? He's like, oh, yeah. So, was that yours, was it? I didn't realise. I'm like, what do you mean?
Was that
You'd have been been the other bloke in a heartbeat.
Should have gone half. Should have gone half.
You're listening to the Fitzy and Whipper podcast.
Genuine, still going quite strong. It's amazing how this guy is still surviving off the one song.
Old Mate Pony.
It's unbelievable.
Good song.
Do you remember when Genuine came into the studio? Yeah. And Tommy performed for him? We've actually tracked that audio down. Have a listen to Genuine's review of Tom singing his song at the end of this.
Yeah, go Tommy. On it. Let's do it. Wow, go Tommy. He's up, he's dancing, knees are moving. Seductively, Tom. He's sexy, be a sexy pony. Jump on in, my pony. Oh, chicken. Don't sit down, I've got to say the chicken. It's not my chicken, mate. Tommy. Can we please? Oh, well done. The man's eating the chicken. The man who produced that great song, Genuine, can you please give us a critique of what you think of that performance?
I'd never want to see that again.
To paint a picture there, Tom was dressed as a pony, and unfortunately there was a loss on the day because we'd organised a mobile petting zoo to come in, and Tom sat on, with limited visibility, Tom, out of the horse head, you sat on a chicken.
Yeah, I couldn't see that.
Tom strangled the chicken that day.
Had to tell the judge that the chicken reversed onto you. But
you kill one chicken.
You can't use that excuse twice, Mr. Ivy.
Yeah. It was the fact that he said it to the nurse over the weekend as well that I found particularly.
Oh, wow, lean into it.
Anyway, Genuine has nearly died.
What?
Listen up.
Please say he got trampled by a horse.
No, Genuine
Tom didn't sit on him.
So, do you know Chris Angel? You know that magician guy? Illusionist kind of guy?
Yeah.
He's got a TV show over in the States.
He's very popular.
Now, he gets celebrities to tackle their fears, and Genuine has a fear of being underwater.
Okay.
So what does Chris Angel do? Holds him underwater for 15 seconds.
Great idea.
He passes out.
Oh, God.
Genuine, and everyone was freaking out. They had to revive him and have a listen. He's come out and he's brought this video out just telling everyone that he's okay.
Nah, your boy is good. Superman, y'all already know that. I'm good. It goes on. We good.
So he's all right, but then I tracked that because I was trying to find vision. I found the vision of it, and he's on the ground. They pull him out of. It's like Houdini with the water trick. They pull him out, and he's on the ground. And I think someone's giving him CPR. Just turn up the music to this. They're giving him CPR to the beat to My Pony, and he survives. But I found this news coverage of it, this guy that was talking about it, and this guy in the news coverage has a bit of a go at Genuine.
This has come after sort of a string of sort of adverse reporting for Genuine over the past couple of months. People taking fun of his dance steps and things he's not able to do and stuff. But as I said, Genuine is still touring, and as I said, he wants people to know that he's okay.
Thank God.
So, I didn't know that people have a go at him with his dance steps.
You can never pick on Genuine for his dancing.
Oh my gosh.
This TV show sounds like a terrible idea for a show.
Doesn't it?
So what, they get people, so they say, okay, what's your fear?
Yep.
I don't know, fire. All right, let's torch that house. You've got to run through a raging inferno.
Mate, this is what the people want.
This is not what the people want.
It is, it's shock porn. People love this stuff.
What would yours be?
Oh, I don't know.
Where would you be?
I do honestly have a fear of heights. When I'm up there, I freak out, but I love tackling it.
Okay.
Like, the feeling that you get afterwards, so you don't.
Heights,
that's why I want you with heights to overcome that fear. Because once you do,
that's not for
it's
me.
an amazing feeling.
Yeah, but you can't do it once and go, well, you've done it now, you've overcome it. It's like me not liking flying, where I go, oh, well, I've been in a plane that's bounced around a lot, so you're over it now. No, I'm not over it. No, that did not help. The red wine did, don't get me wrong. Maybe a couple of Valium, a few Still Knocks, and off we go. But outside of that, no, I don't want to do that. I'm not going on that show. What would yours be, Says?
I feel like if I tell you tomorrow, you're going to lock me in a small box.
No, we would never do that.
Never, ever.
Show.
Tommy, bring in the box.
Yeah, here it is.
I turned 46 yesterday. I'm over it.
Tommy, bring in the box, bring in the snakes.
It'd be the small box.
Would it?
Yeah,
Well,
if
it's
you put me in like a
claustrophobic.
coffin or something,
So, you
like
know-
that would in confined space.
You know the I'm a Celebrity one where they go underground
Yeah. Oh,
and
no,
there's
no, no.
snakes
No,
down
no,
there and
no,
you
no.
can hardly move?
So not only with the snakes and spiders and all that jazz, that's an issue. But yeah, I would never do like the tunnels in Vietnam that you can go into.
Oh, yeah.
No,
Yeah.
like no, the SAS was
With the Sam
where
Burgess got
they
stuck?
Sam Burgess, no.
Yeah, that one is
Never.
that freaks me out. What about you, Tommy? Soap?
A shower?
God,
Don't even answer.
I don't even need it.
What about
See you later, mate.
MDG?
Oh,
Honesty?
commitment?
Would that be a big one?
Oh, classic again. Just going around the room.
Welcome to Monday.
Yeah. 46 still got it.
Have not lost it.
The Fitzy and Whipper podcast.
Lights, camera, clarity.
Ooh, Sarah.
The top trending stories in entertainment this morning. Kanye West back running all the headlines. He's launched into some fresh rants. One this morning, though, that a lot of people are a little bit distressed by. So I'm going to play you some audio. He's on a podcast and he's talking about George Floyd, and then he moves from that conversation into talking about this Louis Vuitton designer Virgil, who you may or may not have seen loads of headlines months ago when this gentleman passed away. And obviously he was very close with a lot of celebrities and designers, and so there were a lot of tributes at the time. And I know Kanye and the Kardashians were all very close with him. So that's who he's coming to at the end. But he starts by talking about George Floyd, saying that fentanyl killed him and not the Minneapolis police.
If you look, the guy's knee wasn't even on his neck like that. When he said mama is his girlfriend. They said he screamed for his mama. Mama was his girlfriend. It's in the documentary. But something that hit me, that me up when I was watching the documentary, and it said they want a tall guy like me. When I looked at that image of him, this tall black dude with the bald head, he reminded me of somebody else. Who do you think he reminded me of?
Virgil.
He reminded me of Virgil. And when I know that this white company, Louis Vuitton, is now making statues of him, like as a martyr. And we don't know why exactly. We say it's cancer.
I'm a bit confused.
So he's saying that why is Louis Vuitton being so run by white men, or this is what he's claiming, I have no idea. Why are they doing so many tributes to Virgil now that he's passed away? Was it really the cancer, or was it white men who killed him? But then it wasn't white men who necessarily killed George Floyd. Like the guy
Virgil?
is ranting, the designer at Louis Vuitton.
Right.
So he's somehow combined these two things,
Oh, my God.
and so people are getting quite distressed by it, obviously, because George Floyd, I mean, a huge moment in America.
The evidence is right there.
And this is the thing. So anyway, so he goes on about that. He then goes on about Pete Davidson again, and obviously he's quite distressed by the fact that Pete Davidson had the kids' names tattooed on him, which when you're watching a man unravel, you can sort of almost see that a little bit. Your wife's dating someone new. He talks about how they flaunt that in the Keeping Up with the Kardashians this week. Kim, the vision is of the time she was dating Pete, and she talks about being intimate with Pete in front of the fire. Kanye references that really hurts and all this sort of stuff. There's a moment though where, and I don't want to, it is slightly amusing. He's talking about Drake and the rumour that Drake slept with Kris Jenner.
Wow.
Which is Kim Kardashian's mum.
Kardashian's mum. Have a listen to the story.
Drake is the greatest rapper ever.
And you said,
and I don't apologize about it.
You said in war he helped your baby's mother's mother?
Yeah, that was hard.
That was
hard.
Yeah, I was like, what's going on? What does that mean? What does that mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory.
We was confused.
You know what it means. So,
God damn it.
And I put like, Corey know what it means.
Corey, oh my God.
So,
Corey's the boyfriend.
The boyfriend.
So he was across it.
He's saying that
Drake
it
hooked up with
happened
the mum.
and that they're all across it. I don't know. That's
He
pretty
did say that Drake's the greatest rapper of all
I
time.
know, and they used to hate each other.
What is...
I thought he was the greatest rapper of all time.
I don't know.
As if Kanye's going to say...
He's not even in the top 5, is he?
Wouldn't have thought so.
Well, I don't think he probably wants that story either, that he hooked up with Kris Jenner floating around. But there it is. Speaking of Drake, over the weekend, and I know we've been talking a bit about betting this morning, he lost £537,000
On the Everest?
on one bet. So he put it on Barcelona to win against Real Madrid. And he had it as is it a multi or whatever you would call it in sport? Yep. Anyway, he would have won £2.5 million if that game had gone his way and Arsenal to beat Leeds. Arsenal won. Barcelona did not. So he lost $537,000.
Oh, my God. That is huge.
Isn't that incredible? This guy's got a bit of an issue, I reckon. I mean, the amount of times we do gambling stories, Andre.
Yeah, but how's the way celebrities put their betting slips on social media now?
I know.
Just to show you.
Yeah, it's like...
Make sure you've got your barcode
Floyd
included.
Mayweather, who made the most money out of boxing, I think is now doing all these exhibition boxing matches because I think he's punted all his money up the wall as well.
What a waste of money.
Oh,
go and give that to a charity or something.
Extraordinary.
Anyway, finally, guys, this is exciting. Not sure if it's confirmed yet, but Rebel Wilson was at the annual Academy Museum Gala last night, and she was papped with a very large diamond on her wedding finger.
Ooh.
Now, the thing is, she and her girlfriend also put up a picture. They are celebrating an anniversary because on that plates where that cake is at their
happy
dinner.
anniversary.
Happy anniversary. So it could have been a gift to celebrate that.
It's just a gift, Sarah. It's not a big enough... it's more like
it looks pretty big.
It's not big enough for you?
No, it's like it's an emerald. It's like an emerald.
Yeah, but people have emeralds for...
Yeah, but it's not like a wedding ring. It's like an engagement ring.
No,
I reckon...
Nah.
Why would you put it on that finger?
Hey, do you know what's weird about the girl that she's dating? They look exactly the same.
What's wrong with that?
Well, it'd be really weird going out with someone that looked exactly the same as you.
No, they're just blonde.
Blonde with dark eyebrows.
Imagine you dating you.
Oh.
How ugly.
I'd be a good kisser.
What a genetic minefield.
I'll stop there.
The Fitzy and Whipper Show is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.